69 and I left my husband 7 years ago. I was fed up with being part of the furniture. I didn't have an unhappy marriage. I just wanted a bit more excitement in my life. He was a good lover most of my life, but I still wanted a new adventure.
Officially nobody's wife anymore. I am divorced. I never thought I would see the day where I'm divorced. I finally did it. I finally filed the papers, and as much as it's so heartbreaking, I'm so ready for what's to come.
As a 35 divorced a single mom, I went back on Facebook dating, and when I tell you men are not men no more, all the men want to be chased. They want you to message them first. They want you to be the one that's interested, and then they want to be all nonchalant and not give you no effort. Like, honey, there is an alleged side chick that allegedly wrote me and told me that she was seeing him and that she was pregnant, and she showed me proof. It's really sad how many of you guys think that I would be that pathetic to still be in love with that man and all this false narrative stuff. And honestly, all I was trying to talk to him was about his son's birthday.
Hey everyone! Today, we're discussing women over 30 who divorced their husbands and are now overwhelmed with regret. Many left stable marriages believing they could find something better, only to face the tough reality of dating and life as a divorced woman in her 30s and beyond. The regret is growing, the loneliness is becoming real, and the wake-up call has been harsh. Let's take a closer look at why these women are struggling with decisions they can no longer change.
69 and I left my husband 7 years ago. I was fed up with being part of the furniture. I wanted to have a proper life again. Everyone got the shock of their lives when I left. My friends couldn't believe it. Most of all, my ex couldn't believe it. He never thought I'd leave. I mean, I didn't wish him any harm. I didn't have an unhappy marriage. I just wanted a bit more excitement in my life. And I was gonna get it before I was 70. And I've only got 6 months to go. People stay in a relationship far too long when it's no good. And I can tell you something, when you are absolutely feeling like this is the end of the line, be brave, take a leap and just go, and you will never look back. Don't stay if you're not happy, because everyone deserves to be happy. A lot of you were wondering why I left my husband when I said I wasn't in an unhappy marriage. Well, we didn't fight, there was no violence or anything like that, but I didn't feel I was living my life to the full. I didn't like living in the countryside when I'm really a city person. He was a good lover most of my life, but I still wanted a new adventure. There was a big age gap. Maybe that had something to do with it. We weren't on the same page anymore. There are many reasons people could decide that they've had enough. Many reasons. But I knew that it was time for me to leave. I've been thinking about it for many years. I wanted my children to be away at university. I didn't want to leave them when they were very young. But then I enjoyed my life when my children were there. I think it was when they left, it made me realize there was nothing left to stay for. So all these reasons are why I decided to leave. But we're still friends. And we speak on the phone every week because we have children and grandchildren together. And we are very civilized. And there's nothing wrong with that. So a lot of people said, why didn't I work it out before I walked out? But it wasn't as easy as that. And I had thought about it for a long time, and there was nothing to work out. I knew I couldn't change anything. I tried, but not in a way that was unreasonable. I just knew I was ready to leave. And I haven't, this is not an advertisement for people to get divorced just because I walked out. I mean, everyone has a different story. Everyone has a different path. And it's amazing how you can still have fun and enjoy yourself when you have actually let go of all that tension that this uneasiness brings when you know it's not what you want anymore. So that's part 2 of my story. I'm just giving people the encouragement and the confidence to actually think twice about the rest of your life, because there's always an alternative and there's always a new way to live. What I've learned is it's never too late to start again.
So, let me understand this. She walked away from her husband, not because he was abusive, not because they constantly argued, and not because he cheated, but simply because she got bored. Ma'am basically said, I felt like part of the furniture, and I wanted to be the centerpiece. Girl, you weren't looking for love. You were chasing excitement before turning 70. She admitted he was a good husband. We never fought, but I wanted something more exciting. Ma'am, that's not a reason to end a marriage. That's a reason to book a vacation or sign up for dance lessons. And the way she's proudly saying, everyone was completely shocked when I left. Well, yeah. Nobody expected you to begin your rebellious chapter at 69. People thought you were busy baking cookies, but instead, you were out there breaking hearts.
And this is me in my 30s, in a bikini on the Barrier Reef. I now don't mind wearing a bikini, even though I'm much older and actually more body confident than I was then. I didn't even think I looked good then. I actually don't care anymore. And I can sit on a beach, I can sit in the gardens, I can sit in the park in my bikini, and I don't give a damn because I feel good in myself. And why shouldn't I sit in a bikini? Some people say I should wear a swimming costume, but I don't feel comfortable in a swimming costume. So, what the hell? Here I am, at this age, enjoying life, ready for Love Island in my 70s. And who knows who I'll meet on my next beach holiday. I would like to say to all those ladies out there who don't dare wear a bikini or feel they're too old to wear a bikini, why don't you just do it? Why should you feel ashamed of yourself? It's just how you are now, and no one's going to like you any less for it. And if you embrace it, you will enjoy being who you are today. And that's what counts. 69 and I'm dating. The one thing that 19-year-olds and 69-year-olds have in common, that the men we're dating are still assholes. Oh, they are indeed assholes. I've just met my two favourite guys on this party. They're so yummy, so lovely. But guess what? They're both getting married in the next couple of months. But hey ho, I'm not going to give up because there's plenty more fish in the sea. I don't understand men. I'm on these dating apps and I think they all play games. I mean, I'm dating men over 70 and I say, well, shall we meet for a drink? Maybe a coffee? Nothing. And I get so upset. What have they got to lose, for God's sake?
This is just sad. She is trying so hard to put on a front on social media by making jokes about how miserable her dating life is, but we all know that there is a lot of truth behind her fake laughs. She keeps on making stupid videos about F-boys and how they keep on pumping and dumping her to try to cover the pain she is really feeling deep inside. And the tragedy is that women like her usually dump all their traumas onto innocent family members or friends. And in this case, it is her son that she considers as a son husband that is her emotional tampon, as you may see on your screens right now. The real question is, what will happen when this son finally decides to be a man and have a life of his own and focus on his own family? Because right now, his relationship with his mother may actually be a barrier on his own development without realizing it. At the end of the day, this woman misses her family's love very much, and her soul knows it. And that is why she is going to cry like a baby after experiencing that family love one more time in this next clip.
I just realise how lucky I am to be so loved by my family. It's just unbelievably overwhelming. And my friends too. I just never expected all of that yesterday. And I'm not crying out of sadness, I'm crying out of being overwhelmed and happy. Oh my God. I suppose you can cry and be happy.
This 69-year-old woman is posting awkward videos of herself in bikinis and talking about dating at her age, trying hard to convince everyone she's happy while clearly struggling inside. The forced laughter and constant positivity can't hide the loneliness. She says, "The men we're dating are still..." No, ma'am, you're 69, using dating apps, getting used, and then left behind because you walked away from your family and are now trying to relive your younger years. Men your age who are looking for serious relationships usually aren't interested in someone posting bikini thirst traps online. She traded a stable family life for this, and now she's hoping for coffee dates with men her age who don't even reply. The regret becomes clear when she breaks down in tears, talking about how loved she felt by her family. That's the family life she chose to leave behind. Her son has become her main source of emotional support because she has no one else, and when he eventually focuses on his own life, she'll be left completely alone with nothing but bikini selfies and unanswered messages on dating apps.
Judgment entered, status domestic partnership ends 10/10/2024. I'm officially nobody's wife anymore. I am divorced. I never thought I would see the day where I'm divorced. I did it. I finally let go. I finally did it. I finally filed the papers. I filed the papers on October 3rd, and this got done in less than a week. I finally did it, you guys. After almost 8 years of saying I was gonna do it, I finally did it. And as much as it hurts, and as much as it's so heartbreaking, I'm so ready for what's to come. But I'm officially divorced.
My dating life update as a 35 divorced a single mom. I went back on Facebook dating, and when I tell you men are not men no more, they are in their feminine energy because all the men want to be chased. They want you to message them first. They want you to be the one that's interested, and then they want to be all nonchalant and not give you no effort. Like, honey, I have a good job, a decent credit score. Yes, I'm a single mom, but I'm a good woman. I know I'm a prize, regardless of whatever men try to say about women that have kids. I'm not going to just be like, yes, you're talking to me, you're God's green gift, or like you're God's gift to women. Absolutely not. Okay. But I will say this. I used to be the type of woman that would only talk to one guy at the same time. But this time, when I went back on Facebook dating, I said I was going to talk to several different people at the same time and date and see what I do and what I don't like, so that I don't have expectations, and I don't get my hopes up, and I don't get my feelings hurt. So if you're a divorcee and you're out there, like, see what's out there. Don't just put all your ducks or all your eggs in one row, okay? Was that the saying? You get what I was trying to say. Don't put everything in one basket, and see what's out there, okay? I love you guys, and I'll keep you guys updated. Bye. You guys thought my baby daddy, estranged husband Carlos, was a piece of work before. Let me tell you what he did this morning. I finally saved up enough money for a new bed frame and a new bed for my kids, so that they can have a new bed, because obviously they wear pull-ups still and they pee on the bed, right? So I'm constantly having to scrub out the pee stains, right? So I was so happy because today I was gonna go pay for the furniture set, right? And guess what happens? My car stalls out. So then I call a mechanic, and he was like, oh, it's probably going to be like $800 and all this stuff. But my ex, Carlos, he is a mechanic. So then I swallow my pride, and then I text this man like, hey, I need your help. It's about my car. Like, I was literally going to treat him like a mechanic. Like, how much would you charge me? Is this an accurate rate? Just talk about the car that gets his kids from A to B. This man didn't answer the phone, and then had the audacity to just say, what happened? And then when I said it's about my car, he didn't even respond. Like, it's one thing to be a deadbeat to your kids, but like, dang, like, you can't even help me out with my car? Like, I don't ask you for nothing else, and if I'm swallowing my pride because I don't want to not buy our kids a new bedroom set, and now I have to literally not buy it because now I have to take care of my car and it's just not fair. It's just not fair.
So after talking about getting divorced for 8 years, she finally went through with it, and now she's celebrating like she just accomplished something incredible. She says, "I finally did it. I'm free." Okay, congratulations. But it's not like you climbed Mount Everest. You just signed divorce papers. Then she immediately jumps onto Facebook dating, complaining that men are all in their feminine energy. Ma'am, you're on Facebook dating. That's where a lot of people end up after Tinder doesn't work out. And then she's mixing up sayings like, "Don't put your ducks in one row." Girl, what does that even mean? Then comes the plot twist. Her car breaks down. And who does she call? Her ex-husband, the very man she just divorced. Mom, you left the marriage, not his toolbox. And Carlos barely responded. He simply asked, "What happened?" and then disappeared. That's cold. But seriously, why would you expect your ex, who used to fix your car, to come help for free after you made it clear you were done with him? This story went from, "I'm strong and independent," to "Carlos, my car won't start," in no time. Still, I'll give her credit. She's trying to move forward. Maybe just skip Facebook dating next time.
Sends my TikToks to my baby daddy, my estranged husband, Carlos. I need you to report the facts correctly because I just try to talk to him because our son's birthday is next week and all he cared about was whatever you guys are telling him that I'm saying, telling me defamation or slander and all these things. Our son's birthday is next week and I was trying to come to an agreement so that he could see his son next week and so he could actually say happy birthday and spend time with him because his son actually wants to see him. And all he kept telling me was about how TikTok this and this TikTok that and all the lies that I say on here, when it's crazy, guys, because the last time I checked, everything that I said, I don't know if that's actually true. So let me break it down to you. There is an alleged side chick that allegedly wrote me and told me that she was seeing him and that she was pregnant, and she showed me proof, allegedly, but I never posted it because I didn't know if it was true or not. And I've said that on my lives, and I've said that several times that I didn't know if it was true or not. I never said it was factual. I never posted it in a video. And meanwhile, I'm trying to talk to him about his son and his daughter and about child support, and he keeps lying and saying that I'm receiving child support through the child support, which is not true, and all this false narrative stuff. And honestly, all I was trying to talk to him was about his son's birthday. So do me a favor, guys. If you're gonna report back to him, report back right. I never said factual. I said allegedly. But it's fine. Like always, my kids are the ones that get pushed to the side. I'm just gonna say this once. The internet is a very fickle place. As much as followers as you can have, there's people that are mean and hateful like this. I'm missing Carlos too. Why, Carlos? Why? Why do you think it's okay to make fun of somebody and say that I missed my ex when I'm literally upset about the way he's okay with being an inconsistent father and not there every single day? And another thing, you guys saying, why can't he just take him to church himself? He doesn't go to church. Why can't you do this? And why can't you do that? And why can't you do this? Why can't Carlos come up with his own schedule or have suggestions himself? Why do I always have to be the one to do everything? Why can't he suggest to me a schedule? Oh, wait, let me tell you why. Because he's okay with just his Saturdays. Because it's his kids that miss him, not him missing his kids. Let's clarify that real quick. The amount of you that love to tell me that I'm still in love with my estranged husband, my baby daddy Carlos, it's really sad how many of you guys think that I would be that pathetic to still be in love with that man. But let me break it down for you. The reason why I get so upset about him not being a father and why I push him so hard to be a father is because I didn't have a dad. I actually grew up with an alcoholic father from when I was a baby till when I was 18 years old when my dad stopped drinking. So my best memory of my father is him walking into our house and me dancing to Janet Jackson's All For You, and I was practicing for my dance recital and him going, "Let's dance, mija, let's dance," and us dancing for 2-3 minutes before he went to go get something else to drink. So of course I want my kids to have better memories with their father than I did. My dad ended up being like the best grandpa to my kids, but for me, he was not a father. So if you ask yourself why I push so hard and why I get emotional, is because I don't want my kids to grow up with the emotional issues that I did. The daddy issues that I did. It's that simple. It's not.
Here we go again. Another story about Carlos. She said she only wanted to talk about their kid's birthday, but somehow it turned into a full discussion about side relationships, child support, and even her childhood. Girl, how do you go from planning a birthday party to unpacking your entire life in one TikTok? She keeps saying, I said allegedly, as if that somehow makes spreading rumors acceptable. Mom, adding allegedly doesn't remove the drama. It just sounds a little more careful. Then she insists she doesn't miss Carlos, yet she's sitting there crying and asking, why Carlos? Girl, it's obvious you still miss him. Just be honest about it. And if he's really not showing up or helping, why are you still arguing with him online? At this point, he's getting more screen time than the kids. I understand that she wants her children to have a better father than the one she grew up with, and that's completely understandable. But the whole situation is a mess. Every new video feels like another page from a public diary. Honestly, what she needs right now isn't more TikToks. It's some peace, a good therapist, and maybe a week without making Carlos the topic of every video.
My baby daddy Carlos and to his girlfriend Vanessa, if you are not them, you do not need to watch this. Scroll away. Okay, so I give up, Carlos. I literally give up. Like, I see now that you're a deadbeat dad for reals and that you literally you've abandoned your kids and you don't want, but the weirdest part is you don't block my number. Why you don't block my number, I don't understand. So let me just break it down to you. I reached out to you because our daughter, who literally is autistic level 1 to 2, has a pending diagnosis for ADD, has all these learning disabilities or whatever, and she out of her own mouth said, is my dad going to come to my award ceremony? And she never remembers anything, but she remembered that memory of you, right? So then that made me feel some type of way, and because I was fine, I was at peace with this whole entire situation, but that made me feel some type of way that she could remember that about you, and then you don't even respond, you don't answer, you don't text back, nothing, right? Okay, you don't respond, nothing back, right? Our kids could literally be in the hospital, hurt. You don't answer the phone, you don't answer the text messages. All you have to do is say, what are you calling for? Like, you act like I entertain you on the phone talking about anything other than our kids, okay? Okay, number 2, Miss Vanessa. I don't know where you got this whole notion that me and you are beefing and that you had to go and put on your Facebook that I'm trying to envenenar people against you, and that, in your religious posts, of like, God's gonna fight my battles for me. God bless the person that talks negatively and tries to spread lies about me and blah, blah, blah. You think God's gonna bless somebody that is sleeping next to a person who literally abandoned his kids, who doesn't call his kids, who abandoned his kids to be with you? A man that pays his child support when he feels like it, pays less child support than what he's supposed to, never calls his kids, never picks up his kids, even though I do not keep his kids from him, okay? You sleep next to a man who abandoned his children that he had in marriage, babe. In marriage. You think God's gonna bless you? Do you think that that's how it works? You think God just hands out willy-nilly blessings to people that are with bad people? That's not how that works, babe. That's not how that works. But I don't understand how you could sit there and act like a wolf in sheep's clothing yourself. Try to come at me and try to be like, I want us to be cool, and then talk all this negativity about him and his family, and then when I bring it up to him and I bring it up to his mom or to his sister, then you want to act like you didn't say nothing. But me and you know, and you're lucky that I deleted those messages off my phone, because I know it's illegal in California to record conversations. So I knew that it was better for me to delete those conversations, but instead of letting myself, when I get upset and worked up like this, to upload them, okay? So you won, babe. You can have Carlos to yourself. You don't want him, it's apparent. You don't want him in my kid's life, even though those kids came before you and in a marriage, babe. In a marriage. But you win. You win. You don't want him in their lives, you win. I'm not gonna bother him, whatever. But since you and Carlos and everybody and their mamas watches and stalks my TikToks, and instead of you guys coming on here and telling your side of the story, you run and post stuff on Facebook, go ahead and post on Facebook, babe. Because at least I say it with my chest, and at least, yes, I look a little crazy. I look like I'm crashing out because I'm literally on 2 hours of sleep. Because literally right now, last night one of my kids got hurt. One of my daughters got hurt. I had to call the ambulance. Literally, just spent 8 hours in the freaking Kaiser Hospital. Had to come to 2 parent-teacher conferences. Haven't ate nothing. It's almost 2 o'clock, and I still have to take one of my kids to therapy. And I do that all by myself. All by myself. And I know I'm not the first and not the last, but I'm just telling you right now, Vanessa, God is not gonna bless nothing, babe, nothing. And the fact that you lay up next to a man knowing that he's not there for his kids and you think that that's cute? 20s or in your early 30s and you don't have kids yet and you think that you want to date somebody else's baby daddy, I'm here to tell you that it's literally a threat on your life to do something like that, because you will literally waste years of your life. Not only that, what if you mess around and then become a baby mama yourself? You are a unicorn, sweetheart. You have the world at your feet. Go travel the world. Go search for a man somewhere else. Don't search for somebody's deadbeat baby daddy or a baby daddy that makes it look like he's a good dad and then he's not. I'm so tired of seeing all my 20 and up girls, even my early 30s with no kids suffering over a man that has 2, 3, 4 kids. You need to be living your life. I know sometimes we look at our moms and we say, oh, we want that family. And who cares if he has 2 or 3 kids and 2 or 3 baby mamas? No. I need you to hear me when I say this. You will, if your relationship ends and you fall in love, that man will not care about you because he has a distraction. He has his kids. And I'm not saying that kids are a distraction, but men will leave you and then say, I'm going to just be so involved with my kids. It doesn't matter. And then you're left as a single person with no kids to pick that all up. And you're going to feel so empty inside. I swear to you, I know what I'm telling you. As a big sister or big aunt or whatever, don't do it. It is a threat on your life. Stay single and look for a man that has no kids.
You know, the reality is that many people believe divorce automatically brings freedom, a fresh start, peace, and excitement. But what doesn't get talked about enough is what comes after everything settles. The quiet nights, the loneliness, and the moments of doubt. Sometimes people leave because they're truly unhappy, and that's completely understandable. But other times, they walk away chasing a feeling that doesn't last. Once the excitement wears off, reality sets in. Bills to pay, an empty home, no one to talk with, and no one to share everyday life anymore. That's when regret can begin to surface. It isn't always about wanting the relationship back. Sometimes it's about realizing everything that was lost along the way, the stability, the companionship, and even the small moments that once seemed ordinary. People often believe the grass is greener on the other side, but most of the time it's simply different grass that still needs care. If you're thinking about divorce, or if you've already gone through one, remember that healing doesn't happen overnight. Feeling regret doesn't automatically mean you made the wrong choice. It simply means you're human enough to recognize both the pain and the lessons that came with it. So yes, some people regret it and some don't. Either way, life keeps moving forward. Whether you're single, divorced, or still trying to figure things out, make sure your next chapter is about more than just leaving something behind. Make it about genuinely rediscovering who you are. Because in the end, divorce isn't always the end of love. Sometimes it's the beginning of understanding what love truly means.